Hi, this is Pendle here from Sound Dust, and with great pleasure I bring you the Orgone. Now this has taken a really long time to build, much longer than I anticipated. What it is, it came about when I did the Hammer, the Hammond organ, and I really liked the architecture of having drawbars, and which is essentially additive synthesis. And a Hammond organ creates sine waves. And I thought, well, what would happen if you put something other than sine waves in there? So I started off recording my Moog Voyager, the sawtooth waves off that, and I built it up like that, and it started off being called the Moogan, which was, potentially worrying as regards copyright issues. So I didn't call it that. But as I played on, I thought, well, okay, let's add some square waves as well. And then after I did that, I thought, well, how about some other classic waves? So I recorded a sawtooth wave from a Roland SH-101 and square wave of a Yamaha CS-15 as the kind of, initially as the kind of percussion element. But then that kind of became a thing in its own right as well. So that's basically the gist of what it is. So you've basically got 11 oscillators, each with a 7 or 8 second recording of every note. 7 or 8 second recording of every note of the instruments concerned, and then each has their own drawbar and controls. And you've got per drawbar, you've got envelope, you've got phase control, you've got vibrato, speed and depth, and fade, and also chaos, which I'll explain later. You've also got a tremolo section, which is per drawbar. You've got different volume wobblynesses and chorus, and you can control the shape of the tremolo. You've got per drawbar filters, two kinds of filters. There's a kind of 4-pole low pass and the vocal formant filter, which I quite like in Kontakt. And then you've also got control of filter resonance, LFO, envelope, speed, etc. Same way over here with the blue section, which is the CS-15, the 101. There actually she got a high pass as well. And then you've also got a delay unit per drawbar here, and also a compressor per drawbar. And then over here is the manual, because it is quite complicated. But anyway, I really don't want to go on too long about this, but there's around in total about 200 presets as well. There's two versions, a Kontakt 4 and a Kontakt 5 version. If you're running Kontakt 5, then you'll be able to load the Kontakt 4 version as well, which has different presets, because the architecture is slightly different because of the possibilities. Oh yes, over here as well we've got filth, tone control, low and high pass filters, convolution reverb. This is guitar cabinet, and then EQ as well, plus a phaser and rotor, or the kind of much like the Leslie cabinet kind of a thingy bob. Anyway, and I'm also in Kontakt 5 using the new snapshot system here, which is explained in the manual about how to load it all. So let's just see what it sounds like. So usual bad keyboard skills from me. Mod wheel. Aftertouch control there. You've also got control of how much aftertouch. I love aftertouch. Velocity control. And this is the note off. There's a little bit of a thump you can add, or a click. Anyway, so I'm just going to go through a few presets, so you get a rough idea of what this thing's capable of, and it's kind of quite amazing what it can do. So you've got loveliness there. This is the key section. It's me playing with the mod wheel, which is rigged up to do some stuff. It's good for woozy stuff, thanks to this here. it's also good for kind of, grazie for tea. Ideas. Ooh. There you go. Let's go lower. So this is just the key section. Can you hear that? Let's go up a bit. A few more of the Vegiotherapy. Just lots of possibilities, and if you want to change that, add in some tremolo. If you control click, it'll take you to a kind of key synced. I mean, it's all key synced. You've got to find the right bit though. This here is the fade in. How long it takes for the tremolo to fade in to maximum. This is the shape. See? This adds a bit of chaos. Let's turn that one off. Softens. So you can go down to a kind of sine wave wobble. Up to a hard bit of chorus if you want to add that. Now the reverb is coming from here. Filter here. LFO. Envelope. And then the delay here, turn it on there. As you delay time, amount. It goes really short. Doesn't like me doing that. And here's the compressor. When it starts to go red, it's kicking in. So very quickly you can build sounds up like that. Add in another drawbar, maybe put a fade on that. Oh yes, and this, here we go, we can turn up saturation per drawbar, and you can change to square waves. And And if you play around, especially with the square waves, yes, another factor here, if this is high lit, then the first one will affect everything. If it's not, it won't. It's just a kind of way of speedily doing things quicker. Yes, phase, play around with the phase, because you get strange phase interactions, and putting them out of phase with each other can help. There you go. Let's load up the strings. Thank you very much. So, same thing again. Most of there's 6 separate NKI files, and they each have a whole heap of kind of themed presets as well. Sorry, snapshots, and they should all come with a default as well, which takes you back to square one. Synth 2. So it's kind of synthy, but organic as well. That was the plan. It can be quite Jean-Michel Jarre. So you can do quite big old string machines as well. Diddly dum bum bum tremololo. Everything you can right click and MIDI learn it as well. Annoyingly, the MIDI learns are saved per NKI, so they can't have different ones on the snapshots. So they've all got stuff set up, and if you're using the Kontakt 4 version, which has another 83 completely different presets, they all have separate settings on the mod wheel. So it can be kind of luscious and kind of kooky at the same time. Just a few. What's that one? Woody. Drawbar. Sorry, mod wheel changes it completely. Let's try. It's amazing for basses. Okay, so a selection of basses. That's mod wheel. You can do some really evil still cool, I'd be suggesting dubstep, but I won't mention that. So basically what you've got here is an immensely powerful kind of multi-synth with an awful lot of polyphony. There's a kind of wide setting. Tremolo section over here is girth. Detune and spread. Now that can get a bit out of control. You can see here, this one note is actually playing 24 notes. So that's your level of polyphony. Don't go too mad with it, but on the other hand, I mean, that's pretty amazing girth anyway, matron. Pseudo signs. there's a lot of good bass stuff. You get the gist. I keep saying that, don't I? Noisy CS. So this is just the sound, the CS, which is also, as you can see here, octavable. I can take it up an octave. So, you know, it's good and thick, but just simple sounds of their own. This is, yes, bar 1 here is actually a choice between a sine wave, a saw wave, and Moog noise, which is every key of noise. It's not just stretched over there. I actually sampled all the noise, which comes in handy for stuff. Okay, let's have a look at the throbbers. Now, because you've got all this tremolo possibility, you can do a lot of kind of BPM synced throbbing. Let's go to that 124. So things can kind of build slowly. Mod reel. So good for film cue stuff. But the point is, you know, make your own. So, I mean, I've tried to make it as playable as possible. A lot of good noisy possibilities. That one. Let's go a bit. These are all a bit throbby because they're in the throbby section. Let's take the noise down. So it's quite organy as well. Can be. Okay, I'll stop. Because you've got all this on and off possibility. Let's have a look at the string. Have I done strings? I can't remember. Yes, I've done strings. Doink. Orgone is what I meant to go to. These are kind of organy things, interesting-y things. Oops. Don't necessarily fit into any category, some of these. Although some of them are quite organy as well. You may have noticed that it's called the Orgone, and especially the K4 presets, very based on Wilhelm Reich, who was crazy. I don't in any way endorse him, but I find him quite funny and interesting. Look him up. There's loads of stuff in here. Let's quickly look at effects and then I will stop because otherwise I'll be here all day. So you can make really good for background drones. Often unpleasant, sometimes quite nice. So it's kind of, it's like a big old modular synth, basically, with a whole heap of oscillators and everything else. You can do quite nice theremin kind of things. Where was I? Oh yes, lots of like I say, quite organic-y sounding things, which are all completely synthesized, and that was kind of the point of the whole thing. So there you go. Let's not go anymore. That's the Orgone. It's available from Sound Dust. It'd be very reasonably priced. I haven't actually decided how much it's going to be yet, but it's been a lot of work. I hope you enjoy it. There will be more demos and more information on the website and all that kind of stuff. And thank you very much. Goodbye.